What's up guys, MattyZ14 here, and today I'm going to be showing you the Survival Hunter changes in WoW Battle for Azeroth. I just made it into the beta, or the alpha, I don't know what they're calling it right now, but so I figured I'd bring you guys some of the changes to Survival Hunter. Survival Hunter had a complete rework in the Battle for Azeroth alpha and beta, so I figured I'd just show you guys some of the changes, how the spec is playing right now, and stuff like that. This isn't really meant to be a guide. I'm not going to go too far into detail, and I might make some mistakes, but it's really just to show you guys how everything changed and stuff. Okay, so first we're going to go over all the spells. I'll start with the core spells, and then I'll go into the other ones afterwards, and I'll go into the talents and stuff. So, we still have our call pet. The Survival Hunter is still a melee class that uses a pet. Our main abilities are going to be Kill Command, which is now a spender. It's a generator for the Survival Hunter. Gives your pet the command to kill, causing your pet to deal some damage. Has a 25% chance to reset the cooldown. Generates 15 focus with a 50-yard range. So, the main gimmick with the Survival Hunter now is that it's kind of a mix between a melee class and a ranged class. It's designed to be a melee class, but you can still use some of your abilities within range. That's not to say that a ranged Survival Hunter is going to be a thing, because it doesn't seem like that's possible. But, so yeah, Kill Command can be used from 50 yards. Then the next ability we have is Raptor Strike, 30 focus, deals some damage. And then this is our main spender. This is what you're going to be using most of the time. And then Serpent Sting is back, 20 focus. Fire a poison tip arrow at the enemy, dealing some nature damage instantly, and then some more damage over 10 seconds. We have a new ability called Wildfire Bomb. Hurls a bomb at the target, exploding for some fire damage in a cone, and coating enemies in wildfire, scorching them for some damage over 5 seconds. So this is kind of like one of our AoE abilities. It's really the only one we have baseline, I believe. And then we still have our pet utility, healing the pet, taming beasts, all that. We have misdirection still, muzzle, which is our interrupt. We have our utility traps, freezing trap and tar trap. Explosive trap is gone because that was replaced with wildfire bomb. We have our wing clip. Our mastery, you and your pet's focus spending abilities deal 30% more damage. So that would really be Raptor Strike and Serpent Sting, and then a couple talents, I believe, as well. And then while your pet is active, you both regenerate 4% of your maximum health every 5 seconds, which is increased by mastery. We have Harpoon, which is our closer, basically. We use that to close the gap to an enemy. There's some talents that can adjust that as well. We have Intimidation, which is a 5-second stun on a 1-minute cooldown. Feign Death. Exhilaration heals us for 30%, and our pet for 100% on a 2-minute cooldown. Disengage, which leaps backwards. We have Coordinated Assault, which is one of our main cooldowns. You and your pet attack as one, increasing all damage you both deal by 20% for 20 seconds. While Coordinated Assault is active, Kill Command's chance to reset is increased by 25%. So it goes from having a 25% chance to reset to a 50% chance to reset. And then we still have our Call Pet. And then our 3 aspects. Aspect of the Cheetah increases your movement speed. Aspect of the Turtle deflects all attacks, reduces damage you take. And then Aspect of the Eagle now is a little different. This lets you use Raptor Strike from 40 yards away. So basically, if we pop this right now, you can use Raptor Strike. And there's supposed to be like a hawk or an eagle or something flying out. It's a little hard to see right now, but yeah, let's use your Raptor Strike from ranged. Yeah, so see, now that it ended, I can't use Raptor Strike anymore because now it's a melee ability. So moving on into the talents, most of these are completely different. There's a few that remained, but for the most part they're all completely different. So I picked a build right now just so I don't have any extra abilities, and then I might go through a couple builds potentially. So in the first here we have Viper's Venom. Raptor Strike has a chance to make Serpent Sting cost no focus and deal 300% initial damage. In terms of engagement, Harpoon deals 1500 physical damage and generates 40 focus over 10 seconds. And Alpha Predator Kill Command has 2 charges and deals increased damage. So currently I tend to use Viper's Venom the most, I would say. Alpha Predator has some uses as well. Terms of engagement is cool, but it's a little weird because like you jump in with Harpoon and then you start gaining focus, but you're going to be pretty much at full focus already. So it kind of just seems like then that focus is going to go to waste. Maybe I'm playing it incorrectly, but I haven't really used this too much. I know it's a good talent, I just haven't really found the benefit of it just yet. And then in the 30 tier we have Guerrilla Tactics. Wildfire Bomb now has 2 charges, and the initial explosion deals increased damage. This has some synergy with another talent, which I'll get to later. Hydra's Bite. Serpent Sting fires arrows at 2 additional enemies, and its damage over time is increased by 30%. So this works really well with Viper's Venom, because when your Raptor Strike will proc the additional damage, if you have Hydra's Bite, that additional damage will hit all of them. Well, technically, it'll hit 3 targets. And then we have Butchery, which is just the way it is now. It's basically a cleave on a 13-second recharge reduced by haste. Inflicts some damage on all enemies, 3 charges. So in the 45 tier, we have Trailblazer. Your movement speed is increased by 30% when you've not attacked for 3 seconds. Natural Mending. Every 20 focus you spend reduces the remaining cooldown on Exhilaration by 1 second. And then Camouflage is still here. You and your pet gain stealth for a minute, and you heal 2% of your health every 1 second. So then in 60 tier, one of these is different. Bloodseeker is the new talent. Kill Command causes the target to bleed for some damage over 8 seconds, and then you and your pet gain 10% attack speed for every bleeding enemy within 12 yards. So this could be cool because if you can move your kill commands onto multiple enemies, you can stack up that attack speed buff. It'll also work pretty well with Alpha Predator because you'll have 2 charges of kill command, and then each of those have a chance to reset. So you could potentially spread kill command, the debuff, to a bunch of different targets and get a lot of attack speed. Steel Trap, I think, is the same as it was on live. Immobilize the enemy for 30 seconds, cause them to bleed over 30 seconds. And then Murder of Crows is the same thing, 30 focus, 1 minute cooldown, does some damage over 15 seconds. If the target dies, the cooldown is reset. So then in 75, we have Born to be Wild. Cooldowns of all your aspects are reduced by 20%. Pretty standard. Post Haste. Disengage frees you from all movement impairing effects and increases your movement speed by 50%. And then Binding Shot fires a projectile on the ground and it tethers all enemies to it for 10 seconds. And then if they move more than 5 yards away, it roots them in place. So next at the 90 tier, we have Tip of the Spear. Kill Command increases the damage of your next Raptor Strike by 15%, stacking up to 3 times. So this also works well with Alpha Predator, because if you hit those 2 kill commands right in a row, you'll have a 30% increase to your next Raptor Strike. And then Mongoose Bite is now a talent, so this replaces Raptor Strike, and it's an attack that deals some physical damage, grants you Mongoose Fury. Increase the damage of Mongoose Bite by 20% for 14 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So currently, this version of Mongoose Bite I think feels a little bit better than it does on live. There's a little bit less to manage with this spec now, which I think makes it a little better. I'll get into my overall thoughts at the end though. And then Flanking Strike now is a talent as well. You and your pet leap to the target and strike as one, dealing physical damage on a 40-second cooldown, and it generates 30 focus for you and your pet. So this talent I kind of like. I wasn't super crazy about the 40-second cooldown at first, but then I was playing around with a couple builds and this sounds pretty decent. And then in the last tier there's Birds of Prey. Raptor Striking your pet's target extends the duration of Coordinated Assault, so that, if you remember, is one of your main cooldowns. Every time you Raptor Strike, it'll increase the duration. And then this talent's pretty cool. I believe this is a fairly new talent. Wildfire Infusion laces your Wildfire Bomb with extra reagents, randomly giving one of the following properties. So, Shrapnel Bomb is one of them, and it causes your Raptor Strike to apply a bleed for 9 seconds that stacks up to 3 times. Pheromone Bomb Your kill command will always reset against the target coated with pheromones, and then your volatile bomb reacts violently with poison, causing an extra explosion against enemies that are afflicted with serpent sting, and it refreshes serpent sting. So it just adds a little bit of variation to your wildfire bomb, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if it's actually random. It says it randomly gives the properties. To me, it seems like it kind of goes in order. It seems like it always goes shrapnel, pheromone, volatile, but I'm not 100% sure by that. And then lastly is chakrams, which I believe this was like a talent back in like Warlords or Mists, I think, but it's back now. 20-second cooldown, 30 focus, throw a pair of chakrams at your target, slicing all enemies in the path, and then they'll return to you, damaging all the enemies again, and the primary target takes 100% increased damage. So that's pretty much all the changes. There's a few different builds you could use. There's like, I'm not going to go too into depth on the builds, but there's like a kill command Bloodseeker build, which could also be used with Mongoose Bite. The build that I've been using mostly, the problem I have with the Survival Hunter is it seems like it's missing like one or two spells. I feel like a lot of times you're just spamming Raptor Strike over and over again, and it gets a little boring. So the spec I've been mostly doing most of my testing with is this right here. I feel like this gives you enough spenders and enough builders in order to kind of keep the spec moving all the time. So a little bit of how the spec will play. What you can do, you can fire your Serpent Sting from distance. You can also kill command from distance, but it feels weird because kill command is a builder, not a spender. So it's like if you kill command to open up, you're wasting that focus. So it kind of seems like a traditional opener might be something like Serpent Sting, then you can Wild Bomb. If you have chakrams, you can throw the chakrams. You could basically use your long distance ones, and then you can harpoon in, and then that's when you can kill command and you'll get your focus back and stuff. And then you're gonna like Raptor Strike as your filler ability. When you get the Serpent Sting proc, you'll use that. Keep your Wildfire Bomb on cooldown, and then you just use kill command to get your focus back, and then Raptor Strike to spend it. Yeah, so now I'll show you a little bit of Wildfire Infusion, which I actually think is a really cool talent. I was playing around with it a bit. There's a lot of, it adds a lot potentially to the spec. So, as you can see right now, I have Shrapnel Bomb. So, basically if you pick this talent, the way you play kind of changes a little bit based on what bomb you have up. So like now, I have Shrapnel Bomb up, which will stack a bleed every time I use Raptor Strike. So what you want to do with that is you throw the Shrapnel Bomb, and then you try to get 3 stacks by spamming Raptor Strike 3 times. So now I have 3 stacks of internal bleeding, and the target's going to suffer damage over, I believe it's 9 seconds. Don't pay too much attention to the numbers. I'm on a weaker training dummy because I was trying to get somewhere where there weren't so many people. The numbers are really nerfed. These will be like the similar numbers, like a couple hundreds, maybe in the thousands. You're not going to see like 20,000, 30,000 numbers in Battle for Azeroth normally. At least not right off the bat. So then, this one's Volatile Bomb. So this one, if we have Serpent Sting on the target, it'll hit all the targets that are affected with that and refresh it. So you see I'm using it now, and now Serpent Sting's refreshed. And it also does like some AoE damage to all the targets affected as well. Alright, and then the next one's Pheromone Bomb, which makes your kill command have a 100% chance to reset. So I'm going to throw down the Pheromone Bomb, and then you can see now kill command is just constantly resetting. So that could be potentially good, because what you could do is you can like dump a lot of your focus into your abilities, and then when you get low, you can throw your Pheromone Bomb and then kill command all the way back up to full, because it'll keep resetting. I think you can get about maybe 3 kill commands in before the duration wears off. I believe it's either 2 or 3. So that could get you a pretty decent amount of focus. That's like 45 focus, which is about half. So that's a pretty good way to get your focus back up. Okay, so lastly I'm going to show off a little bit of a mongoose bite build that I was playing around with. So I'm going to respec some of this. Yeah, I believe that's it. So now for this kind of build, what you could do is same thing. You can start it ranged and like use your serpent sting and stuff, throw your bomb, and then like harpoon in. And then you want to mongoose bite as much as possible in this window, which that's why it also stacks well with the shrapnel bomb. And then you could use your kill command. Now if you pick the kill command talent, you'll have 2 charges and it'll also do more damage. And then you just have that little mongoose bite window, and then that's it. It's a little less punishing than on live. Like on live, it's like you build up for this really big mongoose bite window, and then that's it. And then you have a lot of downtime. This, it's kind of cool because you could just keep going into it, like in and out of the mongoose bite window. And then right here, I'm going to show you how this will work with pheromone bomb. So you would want to put your serpent sting up before you mongoose bite, because you want to have as much mongoose bites in that window as possible. So I'm going to serpent sting and mongoose bite. I'm going to mongoose bite as much as I can. Then pheromone bomb. So now all your kill commands will reset. And now I'm almost at full focus. Mongoose bite a few more times. And then I could get like a couple mongoose bites off at 5 stacks. So overall, the spec has a lot of synergy with itself. A lot of the talents synergize well with some of your other abilities and stuff. Overall, I think it's a very good improvement over the way it is on live. Like I said, I do feel like it's missing something. I mean, maybe this will change with the Azerite gear, the Azerite armor, I mean. But it just seems like we're missing like another main spender. Because with certain builds, like if you don't take like chakrams or Murder of Crows, it feels like you just kill command, raptor strike, kill command, raptor strike, or you just raptor strike like 3 times in a row, and it just seems a little stale. But yeah, so that was the changes for the Survival Hunter. I'm planning on doing the 2 other Hunter specs, and potentially all the other specs, depending on how well these videos do. I know this might have been a little disorganized. It's been a while since I recorded one of these kinds of videos, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this helped. Overall, this looks like it's going to be a fun spec. This might even end up being my main in Battle for Azeroth, because I like it so far. It's pretty cool. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.